Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tea with Pastor B. I hope everybody's doing well today. As you probably noticed from the title of this video, we do have a big announcement as a church to make public. And so I know many of you have been asking that question. When are we going to reopen the church? When are we going to get back to the way things used to be? When are we going to be back together on Sunday mornings in person to worship together? And it's a question that we as a leadership team have tackled over these last few weeks, last few couple months. It's a question that a lot of churches are asking right now. And so last night, as a leadership team, we came together again after a lot of time of prayer, a lot of time of reflection, and we came to the conclusion that we're going to stop asking that question. We're not going to ask that question anymore. In fact, we're going to table that question to a later time. And so the decision that we unanimously voted on last night was that Grace Covenant Church will cease to meet in person for in-person worship gatherings for the remainder of 2020. Now, I know that's big news. It's saddening news. A lot of you hear that news and you are maybe frustrated by it. You're maybe saddened by it. It's not a decision that we made, that we took lightly as a leadership team. It's not a decision that we were, we came to an easy conclusion on. It's hard whenever you have to think about, shutting down things, especially when our church has been meeting every Sunday morning for 65 years, here in South San Francisco. And then all of a sudden, this pandemic comes in and upturns all of that. We haven't met in the last 3 or 4 months now. And so we made the decision, hey, let's just push everything back. Let's just make the decision right now that we aren't going to meet again until next year. It's a bold decision. It's a little gutsy, but it's a decision that in the end we became more enthusiastic about, because we realized this decision is actually going to set us up to do more ministry and to be more impactful than what we're doing right now. Right now, we've just been kind of coasting. We've kind of been in this waiting period of, okay, maybe in 2 weeks or so it'll be safe again. And we've been playing whack-a-mole with the news and with the numbers that we see in the from the county regarding the coronavirus cases. And so we just decided, hey, let's make the firm decision right now to say we're not going to make that decision, and let's just table this for the rest of the year, and let's focus on what's essential as a church. It's funny terminology whenever we talk about reopening or the church having been closed, because in reality, the church has never closed. Grace Covenant Church has been operating in the same exact way that we have been operating when we had in-person worship gatherings. We're still meeting on Sunday mornings. We're still serving our community. We have a food pantry that operates once a month, that it's actually seeing more people served during this time than we've ever seen. We're still operating small groups. We're still operating through making connections and relationships in our community. And so the only thing that's different is we're not meeting in person for 1 hour on Sunday mornings. Now, there's 168 hours in the week. And for the longest time, and for most churches, only one of those 168 hours we're actually meeting together on a Sunday morning. And so now we're looking at, okay, how can we make a bigger impact throughout the rest of the week? How can we have a better reach? And so our leadership team, we decided, hey, we're going to take things a different direction for right now. We're going to step back from the in-person gatherings, and we're going to focus on what's essential for our church. Our church, we want to glorify God, we want to grow as disciples, and we want to go into the community of South San Francisco. And so none of that has changed, but we're just going to intensify the way we're doing it now. We're going to continue to be an online virtual church for now, but we're going to create new ways and new pathways to cultivate relationships, to cultivate discipleship. And so we're really excited. In the next couple of weeks, you're going to see some new ideas coming forward through all this. There will be a new set of small groups starting in August called beta groups. And these beta groups will cover different topics, topics about Christianity and topics about marriage, topics about biblical studies. There's different areas that you might be interested in learning about. And so these beta groups will last 6 weeks. So it's not a long-term commitment. And you can sign up for different beta groups. They'll be offered at different times throughout the week. So for some of you, it will work really well with some of your schedules. Some of you might find one group suit your schedule better than another. And so we're going to keep rotating these groups. We're going to have new topics every 6 weeks to choose from. And so really excited about that. We're planning a drive-in movie night sometime soon for our children and youth families. So that's actually going to be happening in the next few weeks. So you'll probably see an announcement in the next few days or so regarding the details on that. Pastor Jennifer, she's working on children's ministry boxes right now that are going to be delivered to every family in our church that has kids. So a lot of stuff, a lot of wheels going, a lot of things are still moving, a lot of things that we're excited about. But what this decision has allowed us to do, it's allowed us to take a step back and say, okay, instead of wondering when we're going to reopen every couple of weeks, let's just plan out ministry for the fall. Let's plan out ministry between now and the end of 2020, and let's just focus on those essentials right now. Instead of just focusing on getting back to church as we know it, or church the way things used to be. We want to take this as an opportunity to grow and as an opportunity to have some creativity and some innovation. So it's something we're really excited about. I know it's a bummer to make that kind of announcement. Surely if something does change, if a vaccine magically appears between now and the end of the year, and numbers start going down again and things seem safe, then sure, we'll reopen. We'll come back together. We'll talk about that if that happens. But for now, we're looking ahead, and the best way for us to look ahead is to say, hey, we're going to table that question. When are we going to re-meet? And we're going to ask ourselves, what can we do better right now? How can we better serve everyone right now? How can we keep everyone safe right now? It's not a decision that we made in response to the government. It's not a decision that we made in response to just like what other churches might be doing, but it's just a decision that we made and we feel confident in because it's what's going to suit our church the best, what's going to suit our ministry the best. And so a lot of new things on the horizon, a lot of exciting things. As I said, we're still a church. Our identity is not in our building. It's not in our worship gatherings on Sunday morning when we're together. But it's when we come together, even if that is virtually. And so we're going to continue to offer ways to do that, more ways to make connections and relationships. And so before I leave today, there's 3 things I want to ask of you. As a member of Grace Covenant Church, as an attendee of Grace Covenant Church, as somebody who might be new to our church, there's 3 things I want to ask you to do in response to this announcement we made today. The first thing I want to ask you to do is to pray. Continue to pray. Pray individually. Pray to God as you continue to build your own relationship with God. Pray for our church. Pray for our leaders, not just in our church, but locally, our government. Just continue to pray that God will give us wisdom through these unprecedented times. But I just want to ask you to pray. The second thing I want to ask you to do right now is to stay connected. It's important that even though we're not meeting in person, that you remain connected with us as a church. You remain connected with Grace Covenant Church. So keep watching the services online. If you can, please watch live with us on Sunday mornings because that offers a great time to interact with others in the comments, catch up with everyone. We're working on doing some Zoom after parties, for those Sunday morning worship services. So there'll be more ways to connect than we've been offering. Connect through these small groups, these beta groups that we're going to be sending information about within the next couple of weeks. But stay connected with us. Let me know if you have any prayer needs. You can always go to our website and fill out the prayer form. Send me an email, shoot me a text message, but let me know how things are going for you and your family. Stay connected with us. And then the third thing that I want to ask you to do is to give. Please don't stop giving. Please continue to give. It's a way to honor God with what He's blessed us with. And your giving does make a difference. It makes an impact. It keeps our church going. It keeps the finances in check for us. These are scary times, and I will be honest, giving has been down right now. And so I just want to encourage you, continue to give sacrificially, and give knowing that your offering is going to do great things. We're still serving families in our community, people that have been out of work, we've been able to provide groceries for. We're still supporting missionaries around the world that still rely on churches like us to donate towards them. And so I just want to encourage you to continue to give. Please do those three things: pray, stay connected, and give. I want to ask, as your pastor, I want to ask you to continue to do those things. This doesn't mean we're closing down as a church. This doesn't mean that things won't get back to normal eventually. We recognize right now we're just in a season. And during the season, we've just decided, hey, let's take things at a different angle. Let's walk through this season differently. And so that's where we're at. That's the big announcement today. Many of you probably have questions about that. And so what I want to do is I want to have a time of Q&A. So if you have questions about the decision that we've made as a leadership team, please email me. Please let me know. Maybe leave a comment. Let me know. And next week's Tea with Pastor B will be a Q&A Tea with Pastor B. So, and maybe your questions aren't related to this. Maybe you have a question about the Bible or anything else. But just start sending me your questions, and I'm going to tackle those questions next week on the episode of Tea with Pastor B. But just wanted to send that announcement to you today. It's not an announcement that's meant to discourage anyone. It may seem sad, but for me personally, I think it's going to take us to a new place. It's going to take our church to a new level, and it's going to allow us to be more innovative and more creative in how we do ministry. And it's going to allow us to really take a step back and focus on the essentials. The things that God really wants us to focus on right now. So exciting times ahead, a lot to look forward to, and I want to encourage you to continue to be along the ride with us. So hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for watching today. See you guys Sunday morning, 10 a.m.